Hello, I hope you're doing well. I hope you guys actually see this video because as of lately, YouTube has not been giving people notifications or actually putting the videos in sub boxes. So welcome back. Hope you guys all enjoy another slow news day around here. But I want you guys to know I'm going to try and upload YouTube content for the CSGO channel here, at least hopefully every once in a while, if not every single day. I do want to try and cover every single day's matches. I'm going to give you guys a quick TLDR of all those matches and expect that at the back half of every episode. So I'm going to give you guys CSGO news episodes, but at the back half of every episode, I'm going to give you guys TLDRs of all the matchups. That, of course, being all the best of ones that have gone on throughout day one for today. And of course, if you guys see me tomorrow, it'll be day two, and so on and so forth. So hope you guys all enjoy. And also huge shouts to all of you guys who have used my sponsor, Free.gg. They're my sponsor for quite some time now. You guys can use them to earn CSGO skins as well as other points and cryptocurrencies, and they'll always be linked down below. So as always, I hope you guys all enjoy, and let's get into the news. And first off, and not too important news, we actually have a brand new Chinese team out there. Now, I'm trying to say brand new, but it's pretty much a remeshing of a former Flash inactive roster and some starters over there, as well as, of course, the former VG or Vici gaming roster. They will play under VG or Vici gaming, and going forward, they could make a mark in future minors. And definitely, if you consider right now where we're at in the Chinese scene, you really have TyLoo. And when you go to the Asian minor, it's really TyLoo and Renegades by far and away. But there's a lot of room for that third place team. Of course, last major, it was actually Flash Gaming who snuck into that third place spot, although it only got there to the major because of TyLoo not making it because of visa issues. But nonetheless, guys, of course, going forward with our new major format, these third place teams at minors now do actually go to the major qualifier itself, and it's a bit, or they go to a playoff for that major qualifier. So it's a big spot to actually hold. And in the Chinese scene, this could be the team to do it. They actually have Zhou King and Freeman, formerly the Flash Gaming inactive roster, and most importantly, Kay is probably going to be the star player on this roster looking forward. He was actually a starter on that Flash Gaming roster, and to round out the roster as well, a couple other players there, formerly of Vici Gaming. So a new Chinese team is now there. Can they make a mark in the future? They definitely can, especially with Fierce Tigers out of the way. That roster is now long gone. That was the Chinese super team. Of course, there's still TyLoo way above, and again, in the Asian minors, you have Renegades right below them. But again, like I said previously, there's a lot of room to grow for this team, and that third place now does matter, and this could be a team we could see at future minors for sure. Now, also bouncing out that, I guess, in some lesser news out there, by the time this video goes live, we should have more news on this, so expect that tomorrow, but it's actually Virtus.pro fighting for their lives to actually stay in ESEA Mountain Dew League. Now, I never thought I would say those words, but it was actually Virtus.pro this morning. Of course, they lost NIP. We'll talk about those matches in the back half, like I said at the start of the episode, but they lost NIP pretty brutally this morning, and they're going through a heck of a lot of changes. You guys already know what's going on, losing Snacks and Taz, and Bialy's going to go here shortly, and they got new players in Snatchy. So, of course, a team who's definitely struggling mentally. Pasha Bicep saying he's probably going to retire after this major, especially if they don't do well and they go out during the Challenger stage. But on top of that, they're not looking very good to actually hold on to their Mountain Dew League spot. They lost to Ents this morning, unfortunately a 2-0 sweep, and it does mean in the actual bracket right now for these relegation matches, we actually had last night, at the point of you guys watching this, they were going to face off against one last team, and that team is going to be Fnatic Academy in a best of 3, and the winner of that would actually retain their spot in Mountain Dew League just barely. The loser, though, would get kicked down to ESEA Advanced, and this would be the first time, I don't even know if ever, we've actually seen the Virtus.pro roster kicked down to ESEA Advanced, which would obviously be a huge demoralizing thing. Now, I will defend this in one way. If you guys look at European side of Mountain Dew League compared to North American side, the European side, to no surprise, is actually starting to look like there's some really impressive teams are actually in that roster. So it's not surprising to see Virtus.pro and Mountain Dew League, but it's definitely a stunner if they do lose to Fnatic Academy, which as of right now, me recording this, only map 1 is done. I'm not sure if the matches were actually delayed. It did seem like they were going that way. It was actually, luckily enough, Virtus.pro taking, I believe, Inferno, which was Fnatic Academy's pick in map 1, 16-14. So it still could be a series that goes either way. But again, this could be the first time in history we see Virtus.pro in ESEA Advanced. And I never thought I'd be saying that. They are currently fighting for their lives in more ways than one. And also pretty cool news out there. We've had this happen once before. Now, I do want to clarify, this is not because these guys are actually YouTubers. We had a YouTuber out there actually be signed as a CSGO analyst for Team Order. Now, why I'm saying it's very, very cool, his name is actually Elmapuddy. I'll link his video down below, and he posts countless guide videos out there and match plays, and actually describes how plays go about and how, of course, the mindset of those plays, and just goes into great detail about several plays out there. And he does post to YouTube quite frequently, so it's always cool to see a YouTuber. And again, he obviously was not hired just because of his YouTube channel, but it definitely helped him out there. And Elmapuddy has now been signed as well as CSGO analyst for Team Order. We've actually seen this happen in the past before as well with NATO Safix. If you guys know him, he's actually a YouTuber as well. Of course, again, he was not signed because of his YouTube content, but it's kind of cool to see as well people on this platform also being pro players. Now, ever since he was signed to Team Sprout, that being NATO Safix, he did start posting kind of irregularly and definitely a lot less than before. So I would hope to see hopefully not the same thing with Elmapuddy, but you'd have to imagine with his full-time interest now going to Team Order and being their CSGO analyst, he might, actually maybe it will will increase his content. But either way, it was kind of a cool mention there. But also very quickly before we get into our match breakdown for day one of the Faceit Major, which I thought not too many upsets, but definitely a lot of great matches out there. It was kind of either very close matches or not very close at all matches. We actually have Xccurate, of course, from Team TyLoo, and their first opening match, guys, on Inferno. He played one of the best plays we've ever seen. Actually, a body block smoke. If you guys do know that, I'm going to show you guys, if you've not seen the clip right now, his body block smoke, which definitely maybe saved the game.
Again, let's not underestimate them. The T side was a struggle, but the CT side is where comfort is. It's where the plush pillows are, the silk robes, the slippers, the massage oil. Xccurate trying to give himself a gap, and that's going to work absolute wonders.
And it just shows you the last second thinking there. It's really cool to see a guy in the middle of a game like that to have that kind of, I guess you could say, game sense. And again, I could go in the title and say 2.5 million Goldie IQ play, but still a really cool play to see there. But now let's break down the Faceit Day 1 major matches, guys. A lot has happened throughout this, and it's been crazy so far. My pick'ems are already ruined, so that's really cool. So first off this morning, I really feel so bad for Space Soldiers. If you guys did not watch last episode because it didn't hit your sub boxes, unfortunately enough, it was Space Soldiers. They're looking like probably the most popular 0-3 pick to actually go 0-3 this time around, besides Virtus Pro. And unfortunately enough, they're playing with their coach Hardstyles. It was actually Engine who did have visa issues getting to the actual major itself, and they'll be playing with their coach for the remaining time. And yes, it's actually been confirmed via tweets. He actually doesn't even play CSGO for fun. He doesn't even play CSGO. Yes, he's a coach for one of the better online teams in the world, but he doesn't even play, and it definitely showed throughout that gameplay. It was actually Rogue taking them down very handily in the first match of the day. On top of that, your other most popular team out there to actually choose to go 0-3, that being Virtus Pro, they followed the NIP, and it looked just about as convincing as the first matchup. Very, very terrible gameplay, and it was not too fun to watch, but good looking for NIP at least. And then, like I showed you guys earlier, Xccurate and TyLoo actually barely take down Gambit, and in a close matchup there, it was actually overtime matchup going 19-17, so that was fun to watch. We also had Big dominate Renegades. Easy for Big. They are my 3-0 pick. I definitely believe in the shock factor after ESO clone and a team who's looking very dominant morale-wise. But again, a very, very close matchup there, so it could have gone either way. That was one of several close matchups. The next one, very, very close as well. It was actually Vega and Spirit. I believe on Mirage, it was actually Vega going down 4-11, and they come back and beat Team Spirit, which I was very upset about. If you guys do know, I chose Vega Squadron as my 0-3 team, but yeah, an 11-4 comeback on Mirage. You don't see it too often, and unfortunately enough for me, it actually ruined my 0-3 pick with Vega Squadron, but great for them. You know, it could be a definite stunning team out there. Going 1-0 day one is definitely a big thing for them, and maybe the boost they actually need. On top of that as well, we actually had HR, probably the biggest upset of the day. They do take down North, guys, I believe on Overpass, and again, a very back and forth game. North almost came back in that, and unfortunately enough, it does end in overtime, 19-17 in favor of HR, being led by far and away by Woxic as well as Issa, looking great so far throughout the tournament. And very lastly, the matches we did see today. As I do actually end this video, guys, I believe it's going to be Astralis and Complexity. They're going to go on and play at midnight, a very late game for them. And again, we don't actually reschedule the next day games until they're probably going to be asleep. So unfortunately enough, I have to predict to you guys, it's probably going to be Astralis to win the game. I'm going to sound like an idiot if it actually is Complexity, but I'm going to go ahead and say that it's probably Astralis taking that game quite convincingly, just like Liquid did to Optic Gaming. The biggest blowout of the day, I would say, goes to Liquid, guys. On Mirage, just dominant. It wasn't even close. So yeah, that's it for Faceit Major Day 1, guys. I would say I'm going to give you guys, I guess, maybe my top 2 best teams, my top 2 worst teams. I think by far and away, Space Soldiers not looking good. It's probably going to be the best 0-3 choice with Hardstyles, their coach, in place of Engine. Alongside that, Virtus Pro just looking absolutely demoralized. It's kind of weird to think about. These guys are actually playing these matches and then going on to play other matches as well for ESEA to try and survive in ESEA Mountain Dew League. Those are probably my 2 worst teams going forward. The first of which, best teams going forward, I would say Liquid. Just looked absolutely dominant against OG. Really had no struggles whatsoever. Optic could not find their footing there on Mirage. And besides that, I can't say Astralis because I have not seen them play. The one match I did miss today. So I guess I will say maybe the next best team I saw would have to be Big. They dominate Renegade 16-5, I believe was the final scoreline. So I'll say those 2 teams, Big and Liquid, your best teams. Space Soldiers, Virtus Pro, definitely not looking like your best teams. They're your worst teams going forward. So that was Faceit Day 1 matches, and this is your episode of CSGO News. I hope you guys all enjoy. I will see you all in a couple days, or maybe tomorrow with Faceit Day 2, or maybe Faceit Day 3 in a couple days. Hope you guys all enjoy. As always, my name is Jake, IQ, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, guys.